Once again, we are back in the Stiforp back office. We are talking about unlimited prospecting for free. And as always, I start from the Stiforp back office because you need to familiarize yourself with the incredible tool suite that you have. You need to familiarize yourself with all the resources you have in the Stiforp back office and the incredible amount of value that you have for just $10 a month. And the page that I'm on is the Stiforp website addresses page with all your different lead capture pages and all your different landing pages in all of those different languages that you can drive traffic to in order to generate prospects for Stiforp and also lead them into your primary business. Now, if you have not been to this section in your back office and you don't realize that all these capture pages are translated into 10 different languages so that you can go out and play in the global community, then you need to come back here and take a look because Stiforp is a global company and we have teams growing around the world, not just in the United States. So for me, I wish actually I could translate what I do into other languages. Unfortunately, I have to say I speak English and I muy poquito español, and that's about it. And workable French in order enough to be able to order in a restaurant, but that's about it. So for those of you that are around the world in other countries, I do apologize because I think that we should be able to translate whatever we do into any language. So Stiforp, huge points in my book for taking their capture pages into multiple languages and taking their videos into multiple languages so that you can play in the global community. Now, we are on, excuse me, what is the last really training of unlimited prospects for free as far as lead generation, because the last two trainings are how to generate inbound calls. So you're going to use the techniques that I've shown you previously how to generate inbound calls. And of course, the very last training is, okay, I have all these prospects. I have all these active networkers from all these different companies. Now, what do I do with these leads? How do I contact them? How do I integrate the Stiforp tools? I think by this point, you can see the value of Stiforp. You can see why it's going to become a household name. You can see how you can get your own piece of the $130 billion industry by using Stiforp as your pick and shovel, okay, as your tool that opens the door to those 50 million network marketers worldwide. The 11 seconds, everybody starts a brand new home business, 3,500 new people a day. And you know what? That's in the United States alone. So think about what those numbers look like worldwide, because that's a heck of a lot more people. There are 20 million networkers in the US, over 50 million worldwide, and network marketing, especially in Europe and especially in Asia, places like Korea and Japan and China is booming. In India and in the Philippines is booming. And you're going to be able to use this technique that I'm going to show you to reach out and touch someone. Now, this is part 2. So if you have not watched the prospecting using Google searches, you need to go back and watch that first, because I'm not going to review everything that we went over in prospecting using Google searches. And if you've been watching these in order, so you need to really kind of watch them in order that make the most sense. It's kind of like building blocks, create a strong foundation, and you'll see how it carries through and how this technique carries over regardless of whether or not you're using a social media site like Facebook or LinkedIn or MySpace, whether or not you're using a classified ad site like Craigslist, whether or not you're using a traffic exchange like Traffic Swarm. You'll see how the same technique carries through, and it's just a matter of understanding what keywords to put in, what companies to look for, where to look for, and the fact that you are simply looking for the name, email address, and phone number of active existing network marketers, or potentially you could be looking at resumes of job seekers if that's the market that you want to target. Or depending on Facebook, you could also be looking for affiliate marketers, because let me tell you, affiliate marketers are going to love Stiforp. They're going to love the tool suite. The traffic rotator is totally built for affiliate marketers. What that means is that they can use that traffic rotator to drive traffic and put all of their affiliate products in one place. And it's just one more tool in the tool suite that they don't have to pay extra for. So again, it's also about understanding, and I've said this all along, understanding what your prospects need and the needs and wants of each individual prospect that is out there. And when you understand what your prospects need, then you can actually target what you say to them, target what you communicate with them, and get the door open. because unlimited prospecting for free, leading with Stiforp, is what you're doing, leading with the tool. Everybody needs the tool. Everybody needs the system. Everybody needs daily leads for free that they don't have to pay for, so that they don't have to go back to their friends and family. All of those pieces are what Stiforp offers. And of course, then you have the money piece. You get to create residual income. You get your quick start dollars. You get your residual income from Stiforp, and the ability to create weekly cash flow. And that's huge. So this is a part 2 training. If you did not watch Google searches, you need to go watch that first, because this may not make as much sense, because we're specifically going to talk about Boolean searches within Google. Okay, so you're going, what's a Boolean search? Well, let me show you. Because once again, we have a PDF document in your Stiforp back office. You'll find it on the same page as the video training, so that you know where it is. The PDF document with your Stiforp checklist and cheat sheet for unlimited prospecting. So all the sites that I gave you, and the keywords and the company names and all the resources, it's on your cheat sheet. So if you forgot to get out your pen and paper at the beginning, it's on your cheat sheet. You can go and look back and look it up. Now, you've probably figured out by now that I am very direct, very straightforward, very to the point. I don't pull any punches. I share with you exactly what I've been doing for the last almost 10 years in using unlimited prospect for free. I know it works because I've built numerous large organizations using this technique, and I have made hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay, selling tools to active network marketers, and using those tools to open the door to get them into my primary business, into their long-term residual income. A tool, a pick and shovel, is a door opener. It levels the playing field. It's what they need. So again, make sure you understand that. But let's get to Boolean searches and how you use Boolean searches in looking for your self-replicated website. This is where I've said all along from the very beginning, any time that you found a self-replicated website of a specific company or organization or affiliate program, okay, that you wanted to hang on to it. Why? Because I'm going to show you how to mine for gold. I'm going to show you how you can use a Boolean search, how you can take that self-replicated URL and very quickly, in like 30 seconds or less, find prospect after prospect after prospect after prospect after prospect after prospect. So if you only have an hour to a day, that you can spend an hour prospecting and an hour on the phone, and every day you can effectively build your business, put cash flow in your pocket, and build your long-term residual income and build your primary. Okay, an hour to a day, a couple of days a week. Consistency is the key. Follow-up is the key. And when you found those self-replicated websites for those companies, that was like finding a little gold mine. So let me show you how to mine that gold. Okay, how to mine that gold so that you can lead with your pick and shovel. Now, in the last training in Google searches, we showed you some samples. We explained to you what a self-replicated website. If at this point you don't know what a self-replicated website is, you need to go back into your Stiforp back office, because you have them right here. This is your self-replicated website. You actually have many of them because you have so many different capture pages and so many different landing pages and your own customizable capture pages, just more awesome parts of the Stiforp tool suite. Okay, but you have this self-replicated page right here. So every single company has a self-replicated page. So we used a couple of examples last time, and I showed you how I found them and some samples and what you search to find them, and that it's the same thing. You're using company name, you're using keywords, or you're using a guru's name when you're searching on Google. Just like when you're searching on Craigslist, or using Search Tempest or Facebook or any of the other methods. Okay, so the method carries through, and it's just about implementing it in the different social media site or the different search engine. Now, I'm going to make this note. I use Google, but this will work in Bing, this will work in Yahoo, okay, this will work in any search engine out there. It's just that everybody likes Google. Google's the most popular, so most people use Google. So that's where I started. So, Boolean searches. What is a Boolean search? Okay, well, I've got some examples here. A Boolean search basically it's a computer term, okay, and it just means it's a search, means show me everything. Okay, so asterisk dot asterisk is means in computer language means it's right here. Okay, let me highlight it for you in case you saw it. It means show me everything. Okay, show me everything that comes after sendoutcards.com. Show me everything. So when you take that Boolean search term, when you find that self-replicated site and you take that Boolean search term and you take it to Google like I'm going to show you, you're going to be able to find every single self-replicated URL out there that somebody has published online for the company. Pages and pages and pages and pages and pages and pages and pages because you are using a Boolean search. So where are we going to go? We're going to pop from the Stiforp back office, okay, and where your examples of your own self-replicated URL are, and we're going to go where, obviously, we're going to Google because we're doing Boolean searches within Google. Now, I know because we found it before, okay, so it's on my cheat sheet, and we found it when I used examples of how to find company self-replicated sites in Google searches and how to go through, and find those sites and use Google searches to find, company sites. So I found send out cards. So let me see here. Let me get my microphone in the right place so I can type and talk at the same time and multitask. And what we're going to type in Google, so we know that the self-replicated site, you go back to my notes, okay, the self-replicated site for send out cards is what? Okay, it's right here. It's sendoutcards.com, and they either have a number or they have a person's name. Okay, so up here, if you look at this example, they even have the person's name or they have a number. So this is your self-replicated URL. So let's go do a Boolean search. So what you do is you go to Google and you do sendoutcards.com / okay, asterisk dot asterisk. Now that asterisk dot asterisk, this piece right here, that's your Boolean search. And as you're looking, you might have a couple of different combinations. You might have www.sendoutcards. You might have http colon / dot sendoutcards. You might have, and this is just an example, you might have https colon / which stands for secure site. Okay, and you see every time I change that, I get different search criteria. So when I have the HTTP, okay, and actually, I have the HTTPS, which is actually a typo, right? But look at this. I found YouTube videos, okay, that I can open up. What am I going to do? Open up, go to the page. I found self-replicated websites, okay, open up, look at the page. I'm not going to open these up. You've seen me do it over and over and over again, okay. If I copy and paste this, if I just highlight this, I'll open one up so you can see. Okay, this person, their user ID is a number, okay, as opposed to their name. And it's important to note that. Make a note if the company does both, if they do user IDs that are names of people as well as user IDs that are their number. So here we go. Click on contact. There's the person's name. There's their phone number. Now, again, I talked about inbound calling. Listen to the video on inbound calling. If you want to generate inbound calls, you fill in this lead capture page. We did a whole training on inbound calls and how to do that and what you need to do if you're going to do that. Obviously, the key is you need to answer your phone. But all I did was I knew that sendoutcards.com was their self-replicated URL because I found it in the previous training when I was doing my Google searches. Okay, and so I just copied out the domains and I opened it up. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. Now, when I have just send out cards, I have 69,000 results. When I put the www in front of it, okay, that changes to 57, and you're going to get every time you change the search term, whether you just put sendoutcards.com / in the Boolean search, or whether you put www, or whether you put http. You've watched me change this a couple of times. You're going to find different distributors every time you change that Boolean search. Now, the Boolean search goes at the end. Okay, you have companies, and I will bring you back to this example again. Okay, you have companies that, like, for example, Stiforp is an example of that, where the user ID is at the beginning. That makes it a little bit more difficult to do a Boolean search. And I'm going to show you how you can do that. Or in Visalis with the myvi.net, it's in the beginning. But let me show you how you mine for gold. Okay? Let me show you how you mine for gold. Now, especially those of you that want to generate inbound calls, you're going to want to watch this gold mining, how to mine for gold, how to go for prospect after prospect after prospect. So here's one way. So I know that send out cards lets this be a number, okay, and or lets this be a name. So watch this. Now, most companies that do numbers, they are not consecutive numbers. Okay, so I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to pick random 5-digit numbers. Okay, 55309. Boom. There you go. Different distributor, contact information. Okay, let's go back. Just change that. Now I'm just going to take out the 55309, and now I'm going to put in 56431. Okay, these are just random, guys. They're not in any order. Oh, wow, look, here's another distributor. You can open that up, have another contact information. Remember, I told you this is like mining for gold. Well, you've now hit the jackpot, because you can just sit here and keep changing this number, 23451. Okay, random, guys. I'm not, this, okay, that doesn't bring anybody up, so just change it to a different number, 47652. And it looks like that they always have 5-digit numbers. See, that brings up Mark. Do you know how long you could just sit here and type in different 5-digit number codes hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, especially if you know how many distributors Send Out Cards has? And I do know how many distributors they have, and it's an absolute ton. Again, just open up the contact information, copy and paste this information, put it on your little Excel cheat sheet, because you're going to contact Mark, you're going to reach out and touch someone. Okay, and you can just sit here and change it. Now, you can also do the same thing, because you notice with this company that they also let people have user IDs that were words, right? So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to try some of the most popular first names, last names, and do the same thing. Okay, I put in William. Whoa, there's a brand new distributor. I'm going to put in Billy. Okay, Billy didn't work. And here's the thing is that if you create a list of the most popular names, most popular user IDs, you can, and as soon as you find that self-replicated URL, you can just keep changing that user ID, and you've hit a gold mine. Okay, again, all I did is change the name. Boom. There we go. Contact information. Change the name. I'm just putting in another common first name. Okay, that didn't work. That's interesting. And so what that might mean is that it needs to be 5 characters or more, because notice that the number was 5 or more, so the 4 number names doesn't work. Okay. And there we go. Tommy worked. So again, you see how I'm just sitting here? If I have a list of the most common names, and I'm just pulling these off the top of my head, and a couple of them I checked beforehand to make sure the examples worked for you. But if I have a list of the most common names, I can just sit here and go change the name, grab the contact information, change the name, grab the contact information, change the name, grab the contact information. And guess what, guys? This is going to work for any company. Any company out there. Once you have gone to Google, done the search, done the Boolean search, find what their self-replicated URL is. Yep, you can certainly, go through here, and you're going to find some of them this way, right? Because you're not going to think of this user ID, appreciate life now, by, okay? You're not going to think of that, or win cards. You're not going to think of that. So you definitely want to go through the Google's pages and pull those out. But you can also just sit there and change the name and write down the couple hundred, 200, 300, 500 user IDs. Because why? Because you can sit here and do this every day. Okay? You're going to talk to people and you're going to reach out and touch them. 30 people a day should be plenty in that hour that you're going to work. And in the next training, we talk about generating inbound calls, and we'll show you what you do to that to generate inbound calls to get people to call you and how many you have to do. But you can use this technique to do the same thing. Either create unlimited prospects for free that you can actually contact, or also generate inbound calls for you. So if you want 15, 20, 30 inbound calls a day for people where people are calling you, you can do the exact same thing. And I'm going to show you that this works for any company, because remember, we use ViSalus as an example throughout a lot of this. And we know, if you go back to your cheat sheet, because I used it as an example, okay, that myvi.net is their Boolean search, and we're going to try asterisk myvi.net to see what happens. Now, again, as I said, when your user ID is in the middle, it doesn't tend to work as well as when it is at the end. And it's partially because some companies have got, they're smart, okay, and they don't want their, complete access to their databases. And so hence, okay, so you don't get the same. You see how this does? It brings it up. It brings Living Smart Girl, myvi.net. Okay, Ontario Hawkins, myvi.net. Again, you just copy those URLs into another. It's going to open it up in the next MD Callaway, myvi.net. Okay, that's why, because I put the Boolean search. Now, when you have a user ID that the ID is in the beginning, okay, then you only put one asterisk, and it's asterisk dot whatever the company name is. You don't put in the www, you don't put in the http, you just put asterisk dot and whatever the username is. And sometimes you're going to see that this works, and sometimes you're going to see that it's not. So if you find that it doesn't, guess what you do? You take this, okay, and you copy, and just like what I showed you with send out cards, guess what? It's actually going to work here as well. So sit here and have your list of your master list of most popular user IDs. And we're waiting, and we're waiting. Okay, and there you have it. Here you go. Here's your contact information. Here's the name of your person. Copy and paste your Excel sheet, and guess what you do? You can just sit here, okay, and I'm going to change it from Sally, and I'm going to change it to Bill, because this does not use numbers, okay? And I can just sit here and just change that user ID. One user ID after another, after another, after another, after another. Take my master list. One user ID after another. Here's another person, okay, of the most popular user IDs, whether it's first names, whether it's last names, whether it's things like, obviously, this is a weight loss company. So I would be willing to bet that if I typed in a user ID of weight loss, just a thought, again, it goes back to do your homework, know your industry, know your company, know what their products are. Okay, but I'd be willing to bet. And if you get to a site, and because I've been here so many times, as I was showing you Google, if you get to a site that's really slow like this, it probably means that it's been cached, okay? And so clear your cache, clear your cookies, and go back and do it again, and it'll speed up, okay? I'm going to stop on this particular site because it is actually really slow, and it's got nothing to do, I'm not doing anything wrong. It's just, if you get to a site and you've been visiting it and you've been there for an hour and you keep changing the user ID and you suddenly see that it's starting to get slow like this because you saw how fast send out cards was changing, then dump your cache, dump your cookies, and it'll speed back up again. But again, I could sit here and I could just change this user ID over and 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 over again. I told you every time you found that self-replicated URL that you needed to hang on to it, that I was going to show you how to turn that into a prospect gold mine, and this is how you do it. Okay, you either use the Boolean search, which gives you page after page after page after page after page of them, okay, or you just sit there, create yourself a master list of user IDs, and sit there and change them one after another, after another, after another. You will easily be able to capture your 30 prospects within an hour. You actually could probably get it up to 40 or 50. The better you get at it, the faster you get at it. And have plenty of people for you to talk to with your unlimited prospects on a daily basis. Then what do you do with them? That is the very last training that we're going to talk about in unlimited prospecting for free. We're going to talk about what you do with them. Well, obviously you need to contact them. We're going to talk about how you integrate the Stiforp tool suite, how you integrate all the valuable tools that you have in the Stiforp back office, how you can use your phone burner and your autoresponder and your capture pages and your landing pages and your traffic rotator, okay, how you can, I tell you that if you pick up the phone, you can use email, you can use the text to video tools in your Stiforp back office, okay, you can use that, but you will have a higher conversion rate if you talk to people. Technology is a wonderful thing. Its purposes do the sifting and sorting for you. If you realize that, okay, and you actually realize that you have unlimited prospects, and what's the worst thing they can say? No. I like being broke. I like not having people to talk to. I like not having enough money. I like not having a system. Great. Move on. Next. Okay, that's what you need to realize. You can use all of your Stiforp tools in your Stiforp back office, whether it's your capture pages like you're seeing here in multiple different languages to go out across the globe, whether it's your webinar room, whether it's your conference room, whether it's your flash movies. My personal favorite, I love the little talking spokesperson on your site, the new resources that Stiforp is adding where you can hire a virtual assistant to call your prospects for you. Guess what, guys? You can make money. You can make excuses. You cannot do both. There are no excuses for you to now being successful online. There are no excuses because you have your Stiforp tool suite. It is going to be a household name because it levels the playing field. Existing networker, newbie, just over broke, never been in the industry, made tons of money. It's not going to matter. This tool suite all in one place gives you all the resources, all the tools, everything that you need in order to be successful. So go out, use unlimited prospecting for free, you now have as many leads as you want to talk to on a daily basis. I don't have anybody to talk to is quite simply an excuse. So make a decision, make a different choice. Don't make excuses. I challenge you to use Stiforp to make money instead.